Hello and welcome to the season finale of Season 1 here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. I am sure that all of you are very excited for the prospect of this race. It's not going to be a total showdown, both championships have already been decided. So, for the final time, they are under starters' orders. And away they go for the British Grand Prix. And there is a monumental accident at the start of the grid. I don't know what's happened there. Fisichella's lost the lead to Luciano Berti. Salo is in second place. Third place is a BAR, presume Panis. And Fisichella's down to fourth. So Berti leads currently in the Jaguar. But there was a monumental accident at the start. And I don't know who was involved in it. Are we going to see a replay? Yes, we are. It is a Ferrari. It's both Ferraris going to... Both Ferraris have taken each other out. Oh, it's got a bit messy there as well. But both Ferraris are out and Barrichello is retired as well. And Raikkonen, so both Ferraris retire from the race. It's a very disappointing end to the Ferrari season as we go through Stowe as Salo takes the lead around Stowe, and down towards Vale is Panis going to have a look around Bertie. No, he isn't, but we are going around Club Corner. Fisichella currently in fourth place, was on pole, not had a good start. Alonso's in fifth in the Toyota as they come towards Abbey. The Abbey chicane. It's a left to right chicane. Nick Heidfeld in seventh place in the Sauber. He's had a very good start. Sauber is currently, De La Rosa is currently in eighth. Burton is in ninth as they go around Bridge. Young 10th place currently. And then we've got Takagi in 11th. And a very good starting arrows. 12th place for Verstappen. 13th place for Frentzen. Both had very good starts as they go round Luffield. Damon Hill 14th. There's quite a big gap behind as Ralf Schumacher. Diniz is 16th as they go around Luffield. 17th is Raikkonen in the Sauber. And there is Montoya without a front wing after being involved in that accident. There is Barrichello and Schumacher both retired from this race after the start line crash. And Salo coming out of Chapel. Down the hanger straight goes Salo. Is Panis going to take the lead of this race? He is. Good line from Panis there, who takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. As we go on board with Panis now, in the lead of the race. Bertie third place in the Jaguar. And Fisichella having a look down the inside of the Brazilian. But it was the outside, not the inside. It's the left-right corner. But it's nothing doing there as they go round Bridge into this corner. It's the only corner I don't remember the name of. We'll go around Brookland. Woodcote? No, Woodcote's the final corner. Luffield now for Fisichella. And they're on to the not so straight. This is that was Woodcote. Down towards Cops. Relatively flat this corner is. Fisichella taking quite a wide line as they go towards the fast Maggots Beckett's complex. Going round Beckett's now. Salo takes a very wide line into Chapel as they go down the straight. Salo is nowhere near close enough to challenge Panis for the lead. Is Fisichella close enough to challenge Bertie for third place? He isn't, as we are on board with Alonso going round the track. It's quite big gaps are deformed and round the back of the field. There's a 7-second gap between Schumacher, as I think Frentzen had overtaken Verstappen by the looks of the name changing in the standings. But it's currently on board with Coulthard in 6th place in the McLaren. 7th place is currently De La Rosa in the Jaguar. 7th place for the Jaguar. 8th place is Button in the Renault. Here he is. He's losing lots of time to the top 7. As we sort of predicted, the top 7 streaking ahead. And we have Heidfeld with the 2 Minardis behind him. As Young passes Takagi for 11th place. As we're on board with Frentzen, who is Hill with company. Verstappen has been overtaken as well by Hill as they go towards Copse. Hills took a dive bomb down Frentzen, and Frentzen has to yield. Good overtake by Hill there. He had to yield to the quick Englishman in his home Grand Prix. We're on board with Ralf Schumacher as he goes through the Beckett's complex. Diniz closing in quickly on the Williams. All these were held up by the crashing Ferraris as we're on board with Raikkonen, and there is Montoya only going around Woodcote, not Woodcote, Brooklands, and there's the leader, which is Panis. And Fisichella has overtaken Bertie somewhere along the track. We saw him, who just in shot, he was in 3rd place. There he is. Mika Salo's in 2nd place for the Toyota. He'd love to have a win in the final race of the season. He's been always so near, yet so far. He'd love to win this race. Fisichella currently 3rd place in the Renault. 4th place Bertie behind in the Renault in the Jaguar, who have been such a dominant car. Who knows if they'll keep the dominance up for season 2. As Salo has a little look down the inside of Panis. Panis holds his line, holds on to the lead as they go round Beckett and Chapel. Is Salo going to take a dive bomb and try and pass Panis round Stowe? The answer is Alonso's having a little go on Bertie. I don't think Salo made the pass stick. Bertie is under a lot of pressure with Alonso. The Toyotas have come up strong in this race. 2nd and 5th for the Toyotas currently, as Bertie goes round through the Abbey chicane down towards Bridge Corner, flat out corner pretty much. Round this corner, I've got to find out the name of the corner because it's going to bug me this entire race. So we go on board with Fisichella. Fisichella looking around the outside of Salo, but no, nothing there for Fisichella. Okay, fun. I have found the corner name. It is Priory that I keep getting wrong. Priory. The corner. As we go around the Beckett section. I know this complex. Salo taking very, very interesting line, shall we say. Cutting loads of them corners. Stuart might want to have a word with Salo at the end of this race for the amount of corners he's just cut there. Is Salo going to have a look down the inside of Panis? Panis takes a very wide line, but keeps hold of the lead currently. Fisichella had a little look around the outside of Salo, but as they go round Club, there is nothing doing there. As they go round Abbey, Panis leading, Salo in 2nd place. Alonso's in 5th, and Fisichella took too much and has taken himself and Salo out. He took too much into Priory, and that's De La Rosa caught up in that as well. They're blocking the whole track, and they took too much into that corner, did Fisichella. Now what's going to happen here? Gonna have a replay. Fisichella, the gap was always closing, and that was the wrong lap. The gap was always closing. There it is. The gap was always going to close there. And both Fisichella and Salo end their seasons early. Salo through no fault of his own. But it doesn't mean that Panis has a huge lead over Bertie. As we go on board with Button, he crashes into Salo and loses his front wing. So there's both Renaults involved in a crash with Salo. Definitely not very good for the Renault team. As we're on board with Bertie, under pressure from Alonso. Alonso has made the pass over Bertie. Alonso up into second place. Bertie in third place. Pedro De La Rosa is now in fourth in the Jaguar. So Jaguar 3-4 at the moment. Through quite good fortune, shall we say, that has happened. De La Rosa fourth place. He was caught up in that accident when the cars were blocking the track. That's why he lost that much time over Bertie. As we're on board with Coulthard in 5th place. Coulthard is in 5th place. Heitfeld 6th place now for Heitfeld in the Sauber. Sauber have definitely improved in this race. They're in 6th currently. Young wrestling Heitfeld as they go to Woodcote. The Pat and Young has made the pass stick at Brooklands. It's a good overtake there. As we're on board. Nope, we're on board now with Takagi in 8th place. Both Minardi's in the points currently. There is Hill in 9th. With Frentzen still look quite close behind Hill. Verstappen is also very close to Frentzen. So far 10th and 11th for the Arrows. Ralf Schumacher is catching these lot though at quite the rate. But obviously the Arrows are on alternate strategies as Bertie has a good look down the inside of Alonso. But Alonso makes the moves not happen as Bertie not making the same mistake as Salo did. Not Salo, Fisichella did. Round Brookland and Luffield. Bertie little look down the inside of Alonso, giving him a little bit of a nudge as Alonso goes into the pits. He's the first to react. He's the first person to go into the pits. Alonso in a Toyota. And into his pit box now. It looks like the Sauber and BAR are also ready to take people in. And Alonso is away in the Toyota. Now where is he going to come out? He's going to come out behind Young, behind Heitfeld. So he's going to be behind Heitfeld in 7th place. So it's a very good stop for the Toyota. Not behind any real slow cars. Though having Young and Heitfeld in 5th and 6th place is definitely quite the shock. But then again, when two of the front runners take each other out, we are going to expect some shock results. As we are on board with, we're on board now with De La Rosa. He's currently in 3rd place in the Jaguar thanks to pitting Alonso. 2nd place Bertie. He's going to get quite the overcut, shall we say, if he has quite a lot of speed. As Panis now pits from the lead, This will promote Bertie into the lead as he comes into his pit box now, running over loads of his guys, but oh well. Changing all 4 tyres off the jack. 6.7 stop is a very quick stop for the BAR. And that was Della Rosa just coming round the first corner. It's going to be close between Panis and Coulthard, but Panis keeps hold of 4th place with Young behind, but Coulthard promoted to 3rd place currently in the McLaren. Quite a lot of action has happened in the first 10 laps of this race. Both Ferraris taking each other out at the start, and the what was 2nd and 3rd place of Salo and Fisichella taking Salo out, trying to take an audacious move around in Priory. And now we're on board with Bertie, who currently holds the lead. Of course, the Jaguars one stopping like there have been the past couple of races. We're on board with Montoya now in 16th, and we're on board with Diniz now, fighting 14th and 15th with Raikkonen in the Sauber. Just about how this race has gone. Hopefully Raikkonen does not take anyone out, though he hasn't took anyone out in ages, so we're going to cut him a little bit of less grief, as we're on board with Button in 12th place in the Renault. Takagi in front in 11th, Heidfeld in 10th. He's holding on to the last points, but there's Frentzen for company currently in 9th place. He's been overtaken by Verstappen, I believe, with Verstappen catching up to Hill quite quickly, should I say. But it's still 1.2 seconds behind. But Frenson's 5.5 seconds behind as Young comes out of the pits. Young is going to be in 8th place. He's going to be behind this battle between Frenson and Hill, which is not really a battle because they're nowhere near each other. But alas, he's behind both Hill and Verstappen. No hills for Hill to go up and down, so Hill will be sad because hills are Hill's favourite thing to do, go up and down hill. Alonso we're on board with now for the Toyota coming up shops in these final couple of races. It's all Toyota at the moment, giving a lot of credit for Toyota as we go on board with Panis. And there is Alonso in 5th place in the Toyota. I am trying to find the standings so we can have a look to see if there's any battles happening for position. Now, with both Ferraris retiring, it opens the door for Frentzen to overtake Schumacher. 3 points is currently the gap. Obviously, Pedro de Rosa was won the title. Panis is actually under pressure from Bertie. They're both on 90 points, so both of them can get 2nd place. As Panis is under pressure from Coulthard, or is Panis overtaking Coulthard? I'm not too sure. Coulthard was under pressure from Fisichella. 1 point was the difference between Coulthard and Fisichella. But of course, Fisichella with Fisichella retiring, he's going to hold on to 4th place is Coulthard. Fisichella's going to hold on to 5th because the only person who could catch him was Salo, and he took him out. Fernando Alonso 7th. He's currently 4 points behind his teammate of Salo, so Alonso is in very good position to overtake him. Hill is far behind Alonso. The next person that Hill has trouble with was Michael Schumacher, who has retired after stalling on the grid, shall I say. Diniz is 5 points behind Hill, but I don't think any of these are going to be scoring quite high. As we're on Panis now for the BAR. Nothing really happening. Where are we? Oh, it's our Frenson is also quite close to Hill. He's 6 points behind Hill, but 1 point behind Diniz. Now Diniz is quite far back. I don't think he's going to score. Frenson looks like he's scoring quite low points, so he might jump above Diniz into, I think it's 10th. I'm not too sure. Barrichello's on 25 points. He's not scoring any. As we have Pedro de la Rosa pitting from 2nd place in the Jaguar. Now, there's a 10-point gap between Takagi and Barrichello, so Takagi cannot overtake Barrichello unless Takagi somehow wins this race. Then we have Verstappen 3 points behind Takagi. Young's also 3 points behind Takagi. As 8.7 stop from Pedro de la Rosa. Young probably has a good chance of overtaking Verstappen if things stay the way they are, as Young is in 6th place and Verstappen is behind. Young might even trouble Takagi if Takagi doesn't get good positions. We have Schumacher's currently 8 points, 4 points behind Young. Don't think Button or Montoya are going to score. Heidfeld currently is in 10th. He'll jump Montoya, might jump Button, and Raikkonen is on 1 point. In the constructors, Jaguar have already won it, obviously. Toyota currently have a 15-point lead over BAR. Diniz, as pointed out, is not doing well, so I don't think BAR are going to overtake Toyota, because of course Toyota are doing quite well at the moment with Alonso. Unfortunately for Salo, he was taken out, otherwise it would have been a lot more easy for Toyota, as we're on board with Coulthard as he goes into the pit lane for his one and only stop on lap 14. This is when we were expecting the one-stoppers to pit between 12 and 14, as he's getting service now. Where were we? McLaren currently a 110 points, 110, sorry, 110 points. They're currently 7 points behind BAR. Unless Hill does quite a lot of improvements, I don't think they're going to have enough points to overtake BAR, especially with Panis currently winning the race. And then there's a big gap to the Renault of Renault. They are in the middle of nowhere, not close enough to McLaren, but they're far ahead of Ferrari, who are going to be pointless in this race. But Ferrari themselves are 16 points ahead of Arrows, so I don't think Ferrari are going to move from their 6th spot. Arrows are currently 11 points ahead of Minardi, so I think they're not going to overtake, as Diniz there gets lapped by his teammate. As we see Frenson coming out of the pits as Bertie, the race leader, comes into the pits. This will promote Panis back to the lead. There goes Raikkonen, there's Panis back in the lead. And Bertie, 9.2 second stop, that's not very good, but he's going to be well ahead of Alonso. And remaining constructors, Williams are 15 points behind Minardi. They're probably not going to be challenged. Sauber currently 5 points, 7 points behind Williams, but they aren't doing that well currently with Sauber. They might only get a single point, I think, if things stay the same. So Heidfeld will have to do a lot more better if he's going to. They're going to trouble Williams, as we see a Williams overtake Pedro Diniz, the BAR. Diniz is now in last place, reiterating the fact that I don't think BAR are going to catch Toyota. McLaren might actually have a chance of catching the BARs, but I want to bet you hold your breath against it. Heidfeld, that's Heidfeld Frentzen, currently in 13th place. He's got, but Button is in the pits, so that's one position. Takagi, that's another position gained. That's quite the inside line, and he's now in 11th place, letting Panis, the race leader, through. Schumacher in 10th place, he has yet to pit. Hill's currently in 9th, having a look down the inside of Verstappen. He has pitted, as we go on board with Alonso, who's currently in the pits for the Toyota, for the second of 2 pit stops for the Toyota team. And away goes Alonso. 6.6 second pit stop is a very quick pit stop. He's going to feed into 5th place is the Toyota. 5th place, McLaren of Coulthard. 4th place with De La Rosa in front. Is Coulthard going to try and overtake De La Rosa? He's going to have a little look, but De La Rosa holds his line round Stowe. Is Coulthard going to have a look at Vale? I wouldn't call this an overtaken place. Coulthard thinks better of it. De La Rosa holds on to his 3rd place currently. This is the fight for the final podium place, as Bertie is far ahead of De La Rosa, as there is Bertie and Panis pits from the lead. This will put Bertie back into the lead and back into pole position for 2nd place in the championship, which will be a 1-2 for Jaguar in the championship. Such a dominant season that they have had, as Panis comes out of the pits. Easily 2nd place, sorry, for Panis. As we want to see the fight for 3rd and 4th. There it is, Panis, as you see in picture, is 2nd place. There is De La Rosa, and there is Coulthard, 3rd and 4th. 5th place is Alonso. He's 14 seconds back from this battle, as we have 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go of the season 1 championship, as we beg the question of what has been the highlight of the season so far. What has been the highlight of the season? Maybe the Austrian Grand Prix has got to be up there as being one of the best races. The French Grand Prix was really good. There was a lot of action at the French Grand Prix, wasn't there? Quite a lot of spinning, quite a lot of crashing, and it was quite an unpredictable race, apart from the fact that Pedro de la Rosa won that race and took a huge step towards his title win in the last race in Belgium. What other interesting races has there been? There's been quite a few overtaking races, and this race has been quite good as well for overtaking in action. But I reckon either France or Austria, for unpredictability and action and passing, both had quite a lot of it. As we dwindle down the final 5 laps of this race, we have Pedro de la Rosa currently in 3rd place in the Jaguar, and he's going round the Maggots-Beckett's complex of this circuit at Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix for the foreseeable future. As we just saw, there is a Williams of Ralf Schumacher in front. Panis currently in 2nd place. Coulthard having a look around the inside of Pedro de la Rosa, sorry. That was the inside of Vale. as they go down towards the Abbey chicane. Della Rosa, third place for Jaguar. Fourth place is David Coulthard in the McLaren. I reckon the constructors are going to all remain the same positions, as Coulthard has a little rock when the outside. Ralph Schumacher's getting in the way as he gets out of the way of both of them. Down towards the start-finish straight for the 19th time this is, as they go round Cops for the 20th time here. We're on board now with Alonso, who is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. He's a full 40 seconds in front of young Heidfeld, currently in 7th place. He has made all his pit stops, interestingly enough. He'll currently in 8th place in the McLaren. He has Verstappen for company behind him. And Hill having a look down the nope, no he isn't. Not having a look down the inside of Hill. Takagi currently in 10th place by the looks of it. Is Hill going to have a look down the inside of Heidfeld? Yes he is, but Hill cannot overtake. And that was Hill trying to overtake Heidfeld, and Verstappen tried to overtake Hill, and all three of them not being able to do anything. Hill having a look down the inside of Heidfeld. Hill is going to come behind the Sauber. These are starting lap 20 now. Hill having a look down the inside of Heidfeld to go down towards the Maggots-Beckett's complex. This is not an overtaking opportunity. Hill slams the side of Heidfeld and he makes the move. He makes the move on Heidfeld. That is Hill up into 7th place. Heidfeld down to 8th. Is he going to make an audacious move on Hill? No, he isn't. There's Verstappen in 9th place in the Arrows. And Heidfeld having a look down the inside of Hill. But Hill keeping hold. And is Heidfeld going to be under pressure from Verstappen in the Arrows? Answer is no, because Heidfeld is having another look down the inside of Hill. Is Heidfeld going to do anything? Is he going to shape himself up round bridge? Down inside of Hill, and Heidfeld makes the move stick. He's up into 7th place now. He's back into 7th place. Quite a lot of action happening. As Takagi is currently in 10th place, holding on to 10th place. As Fredson gets overtaken by Ralf Schumacher in the Williams. There's Button behind the Arrows. It's quite a lot of action happening. The final few laps for the final point position. All of these won it. Takagi currently holding on to it in 10th place. Ralf Schumacher cashing up. Frentzen also within a shout, but has been quite slow since the start. Is Ralf Schumacher going to have a chance of going down the inside of Takagi? No, and that is Button on fire. Button retires from the British Grand Prix. He was castling Frentzen, but Button makes it a miserable day for Renault. Both cars retired, both of the Ferraris retired as well, remember. And there is Montoya, 15th place. There's Fisichella, culprit of the accident with Sarlo. And then both Barrichello and Schumacher taking each other out at the start. But we're on board with Bertie as he has 2 laps to go of this Silverstone circuit. Are we going to stay on board with Bertie for the whole of this race? No. as we see him go round Cops. And there is Panis. He's now going around Cops. Second place. He's going to lose second place in the championship as it stands to Bertie. De La Rosa is currently in third. Coulthard has not been able to keep up with De La Rosa in the final stint. De La Rosa managed to pull away from him as Alonso currently in 5th place. He has a 50-second 5-0 second advantage over Alex Young in 6th place. 7th place currently Heidfeld. He is pulling away from Verstappen, who has overtaken Hill for 8th place. Is Verstappen going to keep hold of 8th place for the Arrows? As Ralf Schumacher has jumped into 10th place by the looks of it. He has passed Takagi, meaning that Verstappen might actually keep hold of the battle between all of the Minardis. I am not too sure. Verstappen is on 12 points, Takagi is on 15. So Verstappen's going to go to 15 points. As it stands, he's going to be tying with Takagi. Young currently will go on to 17 points, so he'll jump both of them. But if Takagi manages to get 10th place, then both Minardis will be there. Currently Frentzen is pointless. He is now 10 seconds behind these lot now. He has lost a whole heap of time as Frentzen, which is a shame because he was very close, so I don't know what's happened to Frentzen. But he's now 10 seconds back from this lot in the battle between 9th and 10th and 11th, sorry. As Ralf Schumacher has a little look down the inside of Coulthard. But Coulthard is struggling really a lot. The fact that Schumacher is hackling the McLaren whilst we're on board with Young. We're on board with Ralf Schumacher now. 10th place currently for the Williams. And they are going round bridge. There is Verstappen in 9th, so Hill, as Bertie crosses the finish line to win the British Grand Prix. He wins by 10 seconds over Olivier Panis. As that's Panis actually, without a front wheel. Interestingly, did he lose it against Heidfeld? So Heidfeld finishes the race. And yeah, both of them just crash on the slowing down lap. But both of them classified in their respective results. Heidfeld finishing in 7th place. He rolled over, in fact, and managed to get back onto his free wheels. Now we have the long wait. Hill finishes in 8th place. This, of course, puts Verstappen back behind Young. There's Verstappen, 9th place for the Arrows. 10th place is Schumacher. He has crossed the finish line as we are on board with Bertie in the Jaguar. He lapped up to 7th place, so it was quite a dominant race in the end for the top 5, or even top 4 really, because Alonso wasn't actually anywhere near them lot. But alas, it's a final victory for Luciano Berti in the Jaguar car, who goes up into 2nd place as Luciano Berti with this win. As we are going to the classified results, Berti wins this British Grand Prix 10.1 seconds ahead of Olivier Panis in the BAR. 3rd place, Pedro De La Rosa, 19 seconds behind his teammate he was. Coulthard finishing in 4th place, 6 seconds behind the Jaguar of De La Rosa, with Alonso the final finisher in the final person on the lead lap, should I say. 6th place was Young in the Minardi, if I can remember, with 7th place being Nick Heidfeld, the highest Sauber have ever been this season. He gets 4 points for the Sauber team. 8th place was Damon Hill, making a double McLaren point play position. 9th place was Verstappen in the Arrows, with 10th place being Ralf Schumacher in the Williams. He gets the final points of the season 1 championship, as 11th was Takagi. 12th, Frentzen in the other Arrows couldn't capitalise, couldn't do what his teammate did. 13th was Kimi Raikkonen, he didn't crash in 21 today. And 14th, and the last remaining driver was Montoya, who was always going to be out of it after losing his front wing in the crash I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. So the 6 retirements was Button, he had an engine failure. Fisichella crashed into Salo. Diniz as well. Diniz finished in 15th. He actually finished the race behind Montoya, which surprisingly. But anyway, Fisichella and Salo crashed into each other, and then both the Ferraris taking each other out before it even started. Unfortunate for the Ferrari team at the end of the season. Thank you for tuning in to the Season 1 Championship. I have been your commentator, and see you all next season.